Yeah, I've had some people ask me how it is that I tie up my Lunasandals, and this video is going to cover how to lace them up using traditional leather lacing. A couple years ago, I wanted to research it, and I looked on YouTube, just like most people do, to find out how to do it, and stumbled across the way Patrick Sweeney was doing it. And I think the way that I do it now is largely based on adopting what he's kind of laid down. There are some variances, I think, in the way that I do it and in the sequencing that I do it and the finishing knot. So in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, this particular sandal is the Leadville Trail by Luna, and it's equipped with the traditional leather lacing, 3/8 inch wide, 72 inch long when it started. I've since trimmed it down a bit, just based on my preference. Essentially, you just tie a knot in the end, and that's what holds it from coming through. Goes through the heel slot, around. Essentially, it forms the heel portion that holds your heel, goes back through the heel slot, and then you wind up with this tail from which basically to put your foot in from that starting point. Okay, so slip your foot in, put your foot's in, snug it up a bit. I like to, again, personal preference, I like to have it pretty deep into the web of my toe, holding it secure. And I take this end and go underneath this portion of the strap, or about midway, and then I double it back over on itself. And then from this point, I go to the outside of this junction, and I go basically from the back to the front through this. Just basically put it all the way through, such as that. And then I take and wrap it around. With this particular strap, it's only going to go around one time. I typically trim them down to have like 2 wraps around, but after a while, sometimes this knot will pull through and you need to trim them down. So this particular strap happens to be down to one loop around. So anyhow, you go around, and then from here, opposite of the other side, you still go to the outside of this junction, but you go from the front to the back. Front to the back. Okay. And then basically alongside here, and then slide that just underneath like that. So from there, and this is the reason why I advocate going in between, is because it helps to hold this knot firm. So if you go in between, and then I double it back on itself, go underneath again, see if I'm all twisted up here, hold on a sec. Okay, so you're like that, and then so from that point you can basically just double it over and then put your bow through. These particular sandals I've got set up so that with the amount that I have left, a bow is appropriate. With the other sandal I'm going to show you, it's essentially the same sequence as far as getting to the knot itself, but I'll show you how I differ with respect to the finishing knot and the reason why. quickly on this other sandal. Essentially the same. Everything up into the finishing knot. So midway, double it back over, go to the outside of this junction from the back of the heel to the front, and then go around back to this junction on the outside from the front around to the back, and then alongside underneath there, alongside, in between that, double it back over again underneath. And then with respect to this, how you finish, now I had enough here, I could, make a bow on this side, but I don't. I've cut them down to be a little bit shorter so that I can just slide that in through and snug it up. These are actually a little long right now. They could be trimmed back a bit, but you get the point. And the reason why I do that is the bow tends to get caught on things in trail running. So if it's a non-technical trail or something like that, I can rock the bow, but otherwise I pretty much roll with this. And as you can see, these knots are very secure. They're not going to go anywhere. And we're good to go.